Hi everyone, welcome back to Cheesy Thumbprints, where this channel is about physical media, movies, and collectibles. And today we're going to talk more about physical media. Not a lot of stuff for you to discuss today, but I do have a few things up front I want to share with you. It's just been a little while since I made a video, but that's okay. I've been busy with other things. And I did pick up a few more items. A few more discs, Blu-rays, and DVDs. It's a habit. I'm trying to watch the bank and all that sort of thing. But I did want to go back to something I mentioned in the previous video. I believe it was. I was going through a lot of pickups, some of the recent stuff that I bought over the last several months, and it was great fun. And one of the things I did mention is I did pick up this series, which I've been watching on YouTube. And I got my wife involved with it as well, and she loves it. And it is The Lost World, Sir Conan Arthur Doyle's Lost World. And this is the only available one as a new product right now, copy, and it's DVD, and it's put out by Film Chest. Now, I had watched another interview, not really an interview, but a review is what I meant to say. I've watched another review of this, and it did bias me some to the fact of saying in my previous video that the picture quality wasn't that great. So I hadn't watched that much of the disc, and I was comparing it more to what you'd see on Roku or YouTube, or Tubi. I'm thinking Tubi, not necessarily YouTube. And I'm thinking the quality is like 450, as opposed to 720 DPI or whatever. And actually, it's not bad, I must say it's not bad. So we've got through the pilot episode, and now we're watching episodes 1 and 2. I haven't finished the series completely on Tubi yet, but I just wanted to let you know that this is just the first disc here, that the quality is actually quite good. So I do agree with the person who was interviewing this, who I don't remember their name right now. They had said that the things like the action scenes of the dinosaurs, this was made, I think, in 1999, 2000, that era, sort of the Xena era. And the dinosaur animation CGI is not great. But I took not great as bad, whereas it's not that bad. I mean, the dinosaurs aren't real. That sort of stuff isn't real. But the props, the sets that they went into building this, and this quality, actually, I picked this copy up off of Amazon. Now, there were two other earlier versions put out. One I said was by Image Entertainment, and that was the best. And the other one, I keep forgetting what it's called. Man, it doesn't come to me. But Image was the better of the two of the old ones. Now, granted that there hasn't been any disc rot or anything, because they were put out probably within 5 years after the show came out. I'm just sort of guessing. It's quite a while ago, whereas this has been released really recent. So yeah, if you want to invest in The Lost World, go for it. It was on sale at Amazon for around $50 Canadian, and I love the show. I just love it. I love the fact that they're, the whole storyline being lost on the island. Anyways, I did kind of cover that before. So I was walking through Giant Tiger, and I had one of these versions of a DVD pack for it was like a Star Trek, compilation of different episodes from, like Voyager, Deep Space Nine, the original series, and I'm not even sure if Enterprise was on that one, but it was all time travel related. So when I saw this, and I had a little coin in my pocket, I picked it up. And this one is the Alternate Realities collection. And it too, I've watched a few episodes out of it. It's pretty good. It does have the original series in it, and it does have some of Enterprise, which I have been thinking about saving up for for a collection of Blu-ray of Enterprise. I did like that show. There's a couple TNG episodes on here. They are in these slipcover discs, which I like. I mean, that keeps them They're DVDs, and as you can see, Canadian, it was like $10. There's some Voyager episodes on there too. And if you're into Voyager, my preference, oh, sorry for that. I set off a strobe light. I'll put a little warning at the beginning. The snap from the case set off the strobe light. Oh, you know, these Halloween leftovers. There is something that it's not, I do have something that I just received from FedEx today, which was a pre-order, and it just arrived this morning. I was outside doing some work, and fortunately it came, and it looks to be in good condition. I'm going to share that right at the end of this episode, what it is. It's a Blu-ray, by the way. But there is something I was thinking, I do these videos up in I have like a little studio art room where I do my videos here. And it's separate from other things. And I thought from like my living room, and where we have a 4K player down in the living room, and which is our go-to for every disc, really. I mean, it's really good. Oh, that's what I forgot to mention too. Playing this on the 4K Blu-ray, or playing The Lost World on the 4K Blu-ray, it does, I think it's upscaling and that sort of thing. So even if this is, say, 720p quality, it's almost a 1080, when you see it on the big screen with upscaling. And you can see a little bit of, little square edges on the logos and stuff like that, little pixelated kind of look. But it really is pretty good. Anyway, we left that. So what I thought, several months ago, I thought, I'm up here. Why don't I just invest in a cheap DVD player that I can have going when I'm doing my work? Oh, yeah, by the way, you probably recognize this public domain movie back here. It's public domain in North America, at least. It's Teenagers from Outer Space. That's what's playing today. So what I did, I went on Amazon and I spent about $50, $60 for this DVD player. And I'm going to say I was fooled once again. I've only had this a few months, and I've had a lot of experience with DVDs. Actually, in fact, I used to work in a CD DVD store for almost 8 years. And I know that's no real qualification, but it just means I've dealt with people's issues over disc problems or whatever. And they usually come down to either the disc is dirty, or the disc is in some way manufactured, it's defective. That's a possibility as well, and you could have disc rot. But the chances are it's most likely dirt, or the freaking thing doesn't read the disc very well. Now, when I read the specs on this at the time, it's called a Megatech, and maybe around $60 if I remember right. This thing is brand new. I've only had it a few months. I've only used it several times, and it fails me on DVDs. And I got to thinking, am I getting this many DVDs going bad? No, it's not that. It's the player. I'm using right now, I had an older Sony Blu-ray player, and everything, even some of the episodes, I was watching the, I can't think of the name of it. Something, Lazarus in the Alternative Factor, I think it was, in the original series. And it would freeze, you'd see the guy, you'd see Lazarus walking, and he'd freeze, and then he'd unfreeze. That was with this. And I'm sure that I went through all the place. MPEG-4, place this, place that. No. You guess you get what you pay for. I've encouraged people to go and pick up a cheap DVD backup. You're better off. If I had saved another $40, I could have got probably a Blu-ray player. And a Blu-ray's going to play a Blu-ray player, going to play Blu-ray discs. Not 4K, I'm just talking about a Blu-ray player. And it's going to play your DVDs. And it's probably going to have... I think if I'm correct, the Blu-ray is a more intense ray, laser ray, than the red ones that are used in the... So it probably does operate better, and it's probably got better software. Anyways, that's just a very long version of think twice before you go cheap. It does play some DVDs, but come on, it should play all. Okay, so what else have we have here? Oh, I'm going to save the big surprise for today. I was going through Walmart just the other day, and of course my wife lets me go play in the DVD section, which is very small now. It's like, no, I just tell her, so I'm going to go down, she's doing her shopping around for her things, and I said, I'm going to go down and check out DVDs. Halloween's coming up, which is a good thing. And Walmart in Canada has pretty much decimated their disc sections, but they still have like a little kiosk or something they roll out in the middle of the mains, and there was a hole in the end cap of it. All these movies, all these old TV shows for like $24, and I'm like, oh, like the original, and they had glow in the dark covers, that series. Maybe I can put a little picture up here or here. And when I saw that, I thought, no, I've got most of these movies already. Don't be anything good deal. I don't want to spend any money, but I do. But anyways, I walked up to it and I saw something that I was like, oh no, but I didn't get it. No, a few months ago, I've been wanting this for years and years. I even saw it back in the day when I worked in a store that sold these things, as I had said. But I think I picked it up on Amazon several months ago for about close to $40. And yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a Rod Serling episode here today. And speaking of which, I have a mug and some coffee here to go, which I need right now. Probably because I'm talking too much. Twilight Zone, good. Anyway, I was not as familiar with the Night Gallery series as I was Rod Serling's Twilight Zone, the original series. And I just thought, I heard it's a different kind of, it's from more of the 70s than the 60s, which there was a lot of change in the movies back then. Spaghetti Western started coming in late 60s, and 70s had the different revolutions that went on in the 60s led to different things. And sometimes it was good, sometimes it wasn't so great. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. There was some restrictions on censorship in a way, and adults wanted to see adult things, I guess. And we just changed as a nation, as a continent in our viewing tastes. And this was, not that it was a resounding success, but it's kind of cheesy is not the right word, but it's a dark horror. And I'm not trying to belittle it or say anything bad about Night Gallery, but it's not the Twilight Zone. It's not cerebral in that sense. It's more of a gotcha, maybe, horror series, a little darker, a little bit more cryptic, perhaps, but it has its place and it's entertaining. Anyways, when I was walking by in Walmart, what did I see? This was like $24 at Walmart, right where I could, shake it, not this package, but and see, oh, is there any loose disc? But no. But you know what? I had willpower. I put it back because I said I already have this on disc, and I'm not going to buy another one just because it has a glow-in-the-dark package, right? No, I'm not going to do that. And I also have this that I got years and years ago. I had it sent to my brothers. I think it was Amazon.com way back then. And it's the Twilight Zone on Blu-ray. And it is super great. I mean, it's crystal clear on my 4K player. You don't need a 4K player because it's just Blu-ray, 1080p. And, as a series, there's five different seasons in the series of the original Twilight Zone. And the stories are amazing, comparably unbeatable. Yes, there's a couple in there that aren't just, the best of the best, but still, this is masterpiece work in some of Rod Serling and other writers that contribute to this series. And the first 3 seasons are an hour long, and then it got kind of something, I can't remember which show kind of bumped it out of Prime, and they went down to half hour for the last 2 seasons. But it is well worth it if you ever come across this collection. And I have this habit of keeping the plastic on as a protection. And you can't take it with you, but you can keep it good while you have it. So it's a complete series on Blu-ray, and I had my brother in the States pick it up for me and bring it one year when he visited. No, he mailed it to me. That's right. He mailed it to me. And it is great. It's the clarity, the sound. Oh man, the sound is so clear on this. I'm not sure, but it probably has 5.1 sound. Oh yeah, I'd need my magnifying glass to see that. That is small, but it is awesome and very well done. Okay, so I had this. I seen the others years ago on DVD. I'd seen some of them, and I liked those series. And as a fool and his money soon parts, did I walk past that Walmart display and not spend anything? Well, I went and got the things I really needed. I don't do a lot of shopping at Walmart. Try to stay out of these stores if I can, but they do hire local people, and people need jobs. But guess what they had there for, $20, I think it was. Maybe 24, $20. They had the Twilight Zone on DVD. Now you're going to say, Kevin, why? Why would you buy it? If you've got it on Blu-ray, why would you buy it on DVD? Well, for one reason, I thought I was going to be playing in my DVD player, which I no longer trust. And there is another reason. The one tiny disappointment I have with the Blu-ray version that I love about the actual CD, the DVD version, was that at the end, now they still do have that, like at the end of on the Blu-rays, I hope I'm not confusing it too much. On the end of the Blu-ray episodes, you get things like, hop on over to, hey, I'm James RNS, and hop on over at 11 a.m. or whatever time it was to see Gunsmoke, and you hear his voice and you see the illustrated picture, and that is on there too. But it seemed to me they had dropped out one of the logos, and it has the CBS logo in its place, the new modern one. And I really liked, like on this, now I may be confusing a couple things, but I just watched an episode and there was like at the very end an ad for Ed Sullivan, an Ed Sullivan show. And why I like that, especially on these discs, is it seems to take you back to that. It gives you that feeling that in a sense you are a time traveler. You're going back and you're hearing these ads for shows that were on, and even the logos. Like what was it? I should have looked it up before I made this video, but it was like K-View something, and it has this little jingle, and it's like, oh, that little jingle. So yeah, for $19 or $20, if you see it, I played a couple discs. They seem to work well. They are done like this. They have these trays. It's not the best idea, but I think they took these discs from an earlier version where they had them more in separate cases. And what these are, they're stacked as towers, and they're stacked one on top of each other. And for heaven's sake, if I get to the bottom and they're all scratched from spinning around, they'll still play, but it's got that one big thing. But for $20 in the Twilight Zone, a classic. Okay, we've been at this for about 18 minutes. I don't want to take up all your time. This is the big news for today. For me, anyway. Here's a hint. Nope. This is coffee time. Rod Serling has very little to do with the next to this. Now, don't clue out on me. Don't leave me. Here's a hint. Remember this? You recognize that? Oh. Okay. A few months ago, I pre-ordered an item from the Jerry Anderson store, the Anderson store, in the UK. And if you know who Jerry Anderson was, he was the producer of such shows as UFO, Space 1999, The Thunderbirds, how can I forget them? So, and others, and many, many others that he did. But when I saw this, I am personally, as if you've watched my other 2 videos or whatever, that's what I'm at, you'll see that I'm a big fan of the original Space 1999 series. Yes, it is a cheesy show, Space 1999 from the 70s, but I loved it. And I loved the technical stuff, the look, the clean, clear, fresh look of the command centers in both seasons. Some people prefer the first season. It's more cerebral and heady and scientific. The second season is a little more poppy. you think you're doing a disco in space or something. No, I'm exaggerating. It introduces another character, Maya, who is a shapeshifter or whatever. She can change into whatever she wills to, and that comes in handy. Okay, here it is, the big surprise. It just came in the mail, and I just opened it before I started viewing this. There's I'll do a better one of this, but it just came today. And what it is, okay, I will read some or all of the back of it. It says, following the popularity of the first two Space 1999 movie compilations released in the late 70s, ITC launched the Super Space Theater series, a collection of feature-length films adapted from classic sci-fi television. So I think what it is they take a couple episodes and they string them together and make a movie. I mean, so yeah, I already have season 1 on Blu-ray. But anyways, among them were 4 dramatic adventures from Space 1999, edited from original episodes, yeah, should have just read it, and enhanced with additional and library music, restructured sequences, and in the case of Alien Attack, entirely new scenes. Now, all 4 originated Space 1999 Super Space Theater films have been restored from the series' high-definition remasters. Each is presented in its original 4:3 full screen, which is good because it sucks when they do, like I said that about Battlestar Galactica in the last version. They gave you a widescreen. It's like, but you're cutting stuff off. Okay. Yeah, 4:4 ratio 3:4:3 format, which is like the old televisions, square, more square, with upscaled original title and credit sequences, as well as 16:9 widescreen special editions with recreated title sequences and upgraded visual effects, which you probably do lose some. This set also debuts a brand new Super Space Theater movie, Prisoners in Space, crafted exclusively for this release using episodes from the second season of Space 1999. Staying true to the spirit of the original films, Prisoners in Space integrates 2 episodes into one narrative with both stories running simultaneously and features fresh editing and enhanced score to deliver a thrilling new chapter in the Moonbase Alpha saga. Rounding out the collection is a restoration of the rare Italian theatricals Spazio 1999, which first brought Space 1999 to audiences worldwide with a distinctive score by the legendary, I'm not sure I can pronounce his name, Ennio Morricone. I guess that sounds kind of Italian or something. All right, so I will do a little review of this once I've had a few episodes. It was a pre-order. I think you can still get them. I'm not sure if they've sold out yet, but it was a little pricey. It's just a collector's thing. And yeah, I've got to go into collecting hiding for a while so I can pay some of my bills. But hey, the money goes somewhere, and I don't take big trips overseas or anything. So that's what I like. And I hope it's what you like too. And I hope you like this channel, and I hope you come back to see some more. And so this is Cheesy Thumbprint signing off for now, and see you in the movies.